Hey nakamas, today let's talk about 10 things you should never do in Japan. So Japan is an island country. They have their own culture, language, and it might be a little tricky to navigate through them, but with me by your side, we'll get through them. One thing that everyone knows, but you should really think about, it's about the respect. So let's start with number one. Number one, avoid using the number 4. So in the West, 13 is considered the taboo number, but in Japan, it's 4. The reason for it is 4, you could say yon or shi. And shi means death in Japanese, or to die. Like, if you know the word shine, means die in a command. Shinda means he's already dead. So shi has an ominous feel to it. This actually has real life consequences. Like, some hotels or apartments don't have number 4 in their floors, and a lot of people like avoid using room number 4s. And one of the worst times of the day in Japan is 4 o'clock, 44 minutes, 4:44, because it means die. So people really don't like that, and a lot of ghost tales around that time. Number 2, don't shy away from the bowing culture. So as you may know, handshaking is still possible in Japan, but a lot of people prefer to do the bowing. Now you might think, do I have to put my hands together and bow? It's like, no, you don't have to do that. Mainly, all you have to do is kind of do a little quick bow, and that'll be it. So the main times you would bow is greetings, when you say hi to someone, konnichiwa. The second time was when you say thank you, arigatou gozaimasu. Excuse me too, sumimasen. You would give a little bow. I think another way, if you ever go to a jinja, a shrine, or otera, a temple, then you could also bow there. Now, I guess there's some technicalities, degrees. I've heard people say there's a degree to how far you should bow, and it means how much respect you do it. But honestly, you could just vibe it out, like if you quick hi, just quick a little konnichiwa. But if it's a thank you, you can do it, I guess, a little bit deeper, but honestly it doesn't really matter. But what I'm trying to say is try doing it, and I think they'll respect you trying to do the bow, and it's kind of fun. It's like a quick acknowledgement of thank you or hello, so I think people would like to do it. Number 3, do not be loud or rowdy in a train subway. So Japan has a strong train subway. Public transportation is pretty good. It's so good that if they're even 10 seconds late, the conductor will say, "I'm sorry, sumimasen. 遅刻してすみませんでした." That's not what they say. They're so punctual that the conductor will apologize if they're even 10 to 30 seconds late. But anyways, with that respect, you can't be loud to them, because so many people use it. If you're loud or rowdy or a little bit rude, it would really disturb the peace of Japan. So I think talking a little bit is fine, but all in all, you have to be quiet. And if you're gonna be on the phone, only do it during emergencies. So definitely be quiet in subways or chikatetsu. And going along with the subway, always wait till everyone exits the door, because you're for sure going to use subways if you ever visit Japan. You have to be respectful for the line culture. Everyone's very polite in following lines and how it moves. So if you're entering a subway, you have to wait till everyone leaves. Make sure everyone leaves and then walk in. You would save everyone waiting, so if you just follow what everyone else is doing, it'll probably work out. Number 5, we're going to get into some chopstick etiquettes. So 5 is do not pass food from chopstick to chopstick. So the official name is hashiwatashi. So it literally means chopstick transferring, to give. And it's deep within the funeral culture of Buddhism and Shintoism. Most Japanese people will get cremated. And then after you get cremated, the bones will be passed through the families and the friends of the cremated one, and then finally into an urn. And when you pick up and pass through the bones, it would be through chopstick and chopstick. So that's the main reason why a lot of people would associate that with death. It might be kind of tempting to pass food around with your chopstick, because it's kind of annoying to put it on the plate and give it. Some people do take it pretty seriously, and actually, yeah, that one you should probably try to avoid. Sticking with the chopstick etiquette, number 6 is do not stick a chopstick upright into your rice bowl or whatever bowl. Similarity to the number 5 one, it has to do with Buddhism funeral. When you give an offering of rice to the one that's deceased, you would give a rice bowl and stick your chopsticks upright, and it kind of symbolizes that it's an offering to the deceased. So with that close connection, people really don't like it. That one is really very popular to not do, so don't do that one either. Unfortunately, sticking with a darker tone, 7 is do not write people's names in red. And this is because red names are used when engraving gravestones in Japan. So unfortunately, it has a strong correlation with death if you write people's names in red. Not everyone in Japan follows it, but good amount, especially when I went to elementary school there. Teachers would 100% flip out if you use a red pen or red color pencil to write people's names. And it is known that it has a very ominous feeling to it. But red's not always bad. Some people's like, well, is red always a bad symbol in Japan? It's not. It's only when used when writing names, really. Red is the one that people should avoid. And it's pretty common knowledge. Number 8. This is pretty obvious, but it has to be said. Do not litter. I think people know that people shouldn't litter in their house neighborhood, but in Japan, you would notice that even the cities of Tokyo, Osaka is very, very clean. And not only is it clean, sometimes you realize that there's not a lot of trash cans. So you might wonder, if you had something to eat or something and you have trash, what am I supposed to do? And the most common thing that you're supposed to do is actually literally put it in your bag or pockets and take it home with you and throw it out in your house. If there's trash cans, definitely throw it in the trash, but without it, just bring it home. So make sure you have
nice pockets.
Or you have to hold it with your hands, which I have done before. And with that, a lot of you might know, but do not walk and eat. People would just sit or stand still and then eat and then continue walking. So definitely avoid making trash or rubbish, even in the thickest city of Tokyo. Number 9, it is true that you should not tip your waiters or tip anyone. So the tipping culture does not exist in Japan. So if you try tipping them, it could be rude. So I think you should avoid it. Just that there's no tipping culture. So just pay the amount that's given and there shouldn't be any issues. The problem is they wouldn't understand that it's part of your tipping culture and it's such a foreign concept. So definitely avoid doing that. Number 10, this is the most important. Always keep it to your heart, is that they're gonna know that you're trying to be respectful. So don't be afraid to do whatever you want in Japan. I guess not whatever you want, but be yourself. Show your personality and whatever. So definitely trust your instincts and you'll be perfectly fine. Like if you make mistakes, I'm 99% sure that they would understand that you didn't mean it that way. So it really shouldn't be a huge issue. So don't be afraid to be yourself. Those first 9 is kind of like, it's good to know. But obviously, there's much more, a lot of the cultural differences. But at the end of the day, they actually understand that you're trying your best. So be yourself, but be respectful. Alright, good luck. And join the nakama by clicking subscribe. Peace.